Today around 5 p.m., Mom and I left for the Willow Inn for a karaoke night. During which I sang On the Road Again by Willie Nelson, then Stole the Show by Kygo, a song I first heard of through an unlisted Everywhere at the End of Time fan project that I found through a playlist of such fan projects, which simulates dementia through audio just like the original Everywhere Through the End of Time, except instead of using music from the 1930s and 40s, it uses music from the 2000s and 2010s. Then I sang Yellow by Coldplay, and then I sang 16 Tons, which I used to think, prior to searching for it, had a different title. Specifically, I Owe My Soul to the company store. By Tennessee Ernie Ford, which I first heard of through a clip I found on YouTube of a South Park episode about Amazon. And then the fifth and last song I sang was Suddenly Seymour by Ashman Howard. Mom wanted me to sing Purple Rain by Prince, but she made that request around the time I was about to submit the Suddenly Seymour song. My intentions were to sing that song next, but the karaoke host ended up not getting to me in time. But I should be able to sing that song next time. Basically, the songs I sang for tonight's karaoke night was a combination of songs I have sung before and new songs. Songs that I've heard before but haven't yet sung before. I only got one alcoholic drink throughout the night. Well, that and a shot. A shot of cookie dough whiskey after I had for the one drink, I got one drink in a glass. I got a Hazy Jane beer, 16 fluid ounces, according to the menu on a marker board or so. Which I had both before. I sipped at it, kind of, both before and after I had that cookie dough whiskey shot at the bar. As for that beer, I had it at the usual round table. I like bringing a styrofoam project and my marker satchel on karaoke nights because it gives me something to do in between singing, and that won't result in me draining the battery on my phone. Even so, I ended up draining it to about half. Because though I started uploading the August 12 my dinner video in the afternoon, I think maybe I first got up around 1:30 p.m. today. I generally spent the afternoon hours prior to going to the Willow Inn doing some work on the Josh Allen styrofoam drawing while I still could. Because the Josh Allen styrofoam drawing is too precious for me to risk it by trying to work on it at a bar that offers karaoke nights. Generally, at whatever table I'm at least a little paranoid that someone's going to accidentally knock their drink over and spill liquid onto the polystyrene block. Smaller tables can move depending on what its occupants do. So at times I feel the need to hold the block in my hands instead of letting it rest on the table. Once the sun went down, the lights of the sort of karaoke room area of that bar, one of the lights had a red-orange hue to it, which made it difficult for me to draw the arm on the left side of the block for the female Mucha Libre ladybug wrestler, which I worked on both during the karaoke night and after it. It lasted until about 10:30 p.m. And the karaoke itself started at 6 p.m. Around 7 p.m., I ordered a dozen chicken wings with boss sauce. I got the chicken wings in an effort to stick to a keto diet. Same for why I got just water aside from that Hazy Jane beer and that cookie dough whiskey shot. Although I have concerns that the wing sauces might have sugar in them, or may otherwise have carbs in them. That's a concern that was raised in my mind as soon as I got the wings. They initially forgot the celery, so I had to ask when the male person who served the chicken wings to me where the celery was, and he had to look to see that they had celery, essentially. In the end, I did get my celery. Since I remember from previous experiences at the Willow Inn that celery comes with an order of chicken wings. It also came with blue cheese, though I'm only really a fan of blue cheese if it's basically as close to a liquid as possible. In that state, it tastes similar to ranch dressing, but the more solid it is, the more it tastes like actual blue cheese. And I don't really like the taste of blue cheese that much. The kinds of cheese I eat are more cheddar, Colby Jack, Pepper Jack, American mozzarella, and less often Swiss, though the most often these days has been these mild cheddar sticks. Which I basically have for every meal at home. I either have it as a quick snack, such as in the case of when I had it during that afternoon period. I didn't take a picture of it because it was just a few sticks of cheese so that I would have food with my iron supplement, which I made part of our last Mom and I's Wegmans grocery shopping trip, because I started taking it because I noticed that my hemoglobin levels had dropped compared to previous such tests during my last whole blood donation. If I recall, I had a cup of coffee at probably around 2 to 3 p.m. Though I bet it's closer to 3 p.m. rather than 2 p.m. Oh, what a coincidence. These aren't the most efficient in terms of most triumph gems for the least item cost in terms of dwarven chips. When Mom and I got back home, I helped her with taking out the garbage and bins, these sort of cylindrical containers that were full of tree branches with leaves on them. And also taking out some cardboard boxes made of flimsy soft cardboard, as Mom put it, and thus wouldn't be useful for setting up the display for future art shows that I hope to be a part of. This is where I'm at currently in terms of the task sets. Also, once we were done with our preparations for the upcoming garbage day, it turns out Mom had gotten a package that contained the photo sticks we were waiting for. I didn't really ask for a photo stick, but Mom got one for her and one for me because we can use these sticks to store photos and pictures. In my case, I could transfer videos I took of stuff that I can't really upload to YouTube because it's kind of private family matters. But has been on my phone for months. So now I can transfer these videos to that photo stick to not only clear up space for more videos like this one, but also so I lose less in the event I accidentally break my phone. This V20 part of the Android family, or oh no, at the time when I got it, I had broken my previous phone right before the trip to Italy and Greece that I did for study abroad. When I got that previous phone, it was supposed to be among the best in terms of taking videos, which is relevant to me since for at least a year, recording through a phone like this has been the primary way I've made videos. For my YouTube channel. I also ended up draining my phone's battery to about half because whenever I got a bit of marker on my hand or my fingers, such as in some cases having to remove a little speck from the marker tip, since the marker tip is actually a better way of catching specks you find on a polystyrene surface than your fingers. I would take a quick break playing the mobile app 1 in a Trillion, where you collect eggs by tapping on your phone's touchscreen. And to kind of wait for the marker to dry out so it wouldn't bleed onto the polystyrene block. Also, today was the day that the week ended on Duolingo, so I completed 2 lessons without speaking or listening because I was at a bar. A noisy bar with plenty of background noise to ensure that I would stay on the Diamond League rank. And it ultimately worked out for me.